So, okay, so fast forward now. So yeah, it's been a rough several years, as any startup person can tell you. Mark can tell you firsthand. What's been the hardest part about the last, say, 5 years?
Good question.
Yeah. Good question. Learning how to learn again in a different way. And twice actually. So the first time was, I had spent so much time thinking medicine. How does the body work? Just always plugging in, read a little bit of organic chemistry that plugs into the physiology, just constantly learning more about the.
So you took OChem, you took bio, you did all that stuff in college, and then you had to, in a sense, relearn all that stuff for the purpose of coding and scientific research.
Well, and then transitioning over to actually making that a business, because having software is very, very much different than a business.
Right.
They're two entirely different
So there's
things.
also relearning.
Yeah, and so
that's just learning. And that's learning how to learn.
Yeah. So I mean, but learning how to learn in a different domain, because learning about it's easier to learn and whatever, but I feel like it was easier to learn computer science than business.
Yeah.
Right. Is how do you and I guess business is really pretty simple, but it's
not when you're learning on the fly on your own without a classroom environment. Seriously.
Yeah, I mean,
it just coaching.
The problem is the feedback is so with coding, it's you put something in, you get something back out, and that's really easy. So with business, the feedback is, I guess, much more subtle, but also, there is direct feedback. There's cash, right? But is the, you talk about immediate cash, and then you talk about
it's not like computer science where you get it right away on your screen.
Right. It's
cash there's did we do that pitch successfully?
Right.
I think we did, but the money don't come for 6 months later for some reason.
Oh, contracting and procurement and all these other,
not ready to pull the trigger.
All that stuff. So
okay, so the hardest part has been learning how to learn again, and often relearning. Yeah, that resonates for me with comedy, entertainment, acting. It's like in my 30s, in my teenage years and 20s, it's like we're in a classroom environment. It's pretty straightforward. You get the book, you get the test, you read it, study, take the test, learn, go. At JP Morgan, same thing. There's just a bunch of people sitting around. I got a question. Let me go ask this guy. He's been doing it for 25 years, so he obviously knows the answer. But then I come into the world of comedy, and it's ragtag. It's just everything's all over the place. There's not mentors everywhere. There's not
no structure.
Zero structure. You're just blazing this path on your own. And I think I'm reminded of a lot of that. It was so much harder for me to get those gears going, and to this day it is. Comparing it to yours of okay, I'm not in the environment of college or grad school anymore. I've got to learn business and all this on my own here. Okay, so now let's bring in Mark Schindel. I introduced you to Mark Schindel. He comes on as CFO with a man with many decades of business experience. How did that change your business learning trajectory?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say it accelerated things tremendously. Just the ability to iterate quickly on ideas, and just bouncing somebody off.
If I give you $20, will you speak into the microphone, please? Give this guy some money.
Sorry, yeah.
If I sign a deal with $500,000 from Meyer, will you speak into the microphone?
I will.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Actually, not 500, but 6.
Is that what your cost is? Okay, excuse me.
That's right.
In that case, no, I'm not going to sign a deal.
Yeah, I think really just having somebody around is a big plus.
Yeah,
having somebody here for you to just...
It's continuity, right? Continuity. And we had this always going back and forth. Is I'd tell you, it'd be oh, there's all this exciting stuff, and then come back 6 months later, it's what's going on? Oh, that was so 6 months. It's what do you And so just being able to have somebody, and then also really somebody to keep pushing back on following up with some of those things, because so many things would fall through the cracks, and it's just trying to constantly get everything done and move forward. Then hey, did you do that? Because you can try and be organized, and I'm not
Accountability.
yeah,
or
but
to help
it's
prioritize. too,
yeah. I
is-
guess
is
that's
helpful. Yeah.
really it. Is like you can spin your wheels for forever,
Right.
but trying to figure out different opportunities.
So Mark.